Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
Whoa, what a twist. Well, everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode. It's a great day. It's a glorious day here on the pod. Do we have any other announcements or any news that we want to talk about before we jump in the movie?
I don't know. What's going on with you? Anything new since we last talked?
I don't think so. Yeah, not a whole lot.
It feels kind of slow on like the movie news front and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Slow entertainment wise,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be our last episode before the Oscars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think technically, when is the
Oh,
Oscars?
I actually don't know.
I think it's this weekend. So this
Oh.
episode will go up the day after. So I hope the Oscars went well.
I hope it went well. I hope nobody was canceled. I hope there was no drama.
Yeah. Nobody's punching anyone this year.
Yeah.
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 They should opening number with a ballet dancers and an opera singer.
And classical music. Yeah.
There
all
you go.
accompanying. Yeah.
There you go.
And it's within like the dance troupe are all of the actors that Timothée Chalamet thinks he is. Yeah.
You mean all the ones he trained with as he grew up? Like, what the hell, man? These are your friends you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Man. And by this point, by the time people are listening to it, the discourse is already like it's too much. It's
already
I think
old
it's
news
dead
at this point.
Yeah.
Dude, I just don't like. I don't know, man. I've never really been a big Timothée Chalamet fan. Just like I've never like. Clearly, he's talented. He's a good actor, but I've never really bought into like the hype. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I just haven't seen a movie that justifies it. I mean,
Yeah.
like he's done amazing stuff, but I mean, so has so many other actors. Maybe it's just because he's doing it and he's young. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, and it's he is a talented actor. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It is kind of this weird thing where it's like obviously like your on-screen persona is different than, your persona in real life. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're going to take pot shots like that, and especially considering that like this isn't new. He's been like making the same like dig for like 6 years now. I kind of feel like you should have the talent to back it up. You should be like the next Gene Kelly or something. Who can sing and dance and act and do all these incredible things. And it's like I think he's good, but like to kind of just come out and take those shots at those other communities. It's like, you don't have to like tear down another art form to like prop yours up.
His talent has nothing to do with any of that.
I think
you could
it
be
does,
the most
though.
talented person in the world, and you'll still be a shitty person for taking those pot shots.
Yeah.
So
but
it's like,
but I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think he's taking those pot shots, but it's like, I think you're doing it because you're not good enough to do the other thing. He comes from an entire family of ballet dancers and performers.
yeah,
It's like,
I mean, that's possible. I mean, I think it's just ignorance, and it's just like that world doesn't make anywhere like near the amount of money that like Hollywood does. But
sure,
it's still very much alive, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like if Hugh Jackman said the exact same thing, I would give Hugh Jackman the same shit. You know? So yeah, I don't know. And my whole thing with him is just like I don't really I don't want to compare actors, but it's like why him and not this other person or this other person? You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I like that video. I don't know. I posted it. I don't know if y'all said it to me or what, but that one girl is like, y'all saw that he was tall, skinny, and and pale, and y'all assumed he stayed inside reading books.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of fit into like this kind of archetype, which I don't really think he is, and he never has been. You
Yeah, and
know?
that's a whole other thing where it like comes to like celebrity culture and then like fandom culture and how like
Yeah.
you, you're like you as the fans also shape perception. So then it's
Hmm.
like Timothy Chalamet isn't, this flamboyant, gay French man. It's like no,
Yeah.
like he went to film school in New York. Like he's,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
like, what's the word for that when it comes to like being a fan of someone? Oh, like parasocial. Like you start like making up these
these like head
relationships.
cannons,
Yeah, these head canons, and it's just you start to forget what's real and isn't, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
which has become like its own like beast, within the
Hmm.
last decade, because it's like that, and that does stem from like fandom culture where it's like, it's fine. It's one thing to do that when it comes to fictional characters,
Hmm.
and when you're going into fan fiction and doing all that stuff because it's like you don't really know if this character would do that, but in your
Hmm.
head you can justify any reason, but then
Yeah.
you start to use that same mindset to then apply it to real people, and that's the gray area, and I think that's where this is the end point of that, where it's just like
Hmm.
we a bunch of people spent a lot of time and years like propping up Timothy Chalamet as like this kind of archetype as a person, and he's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like
So,
and it's nobody's fault really, but
yeah.
like yeah,
Now, luckily, he hasn't done anything like horribly atrocious that got him canceled. It's just like, he's just
sure,
a dick,
yeah,
And that's another
yeah.
thing too. He's a kid. Like, I don't even. Oh no, he's not a kid. He's like 30.
Yeah, he's
He
yeah,
looks like a kid.
he's a couple of years younger than me. Like let's
I would have given him slack if he was like in his early 20s, but I'm like, no,
look,
actually, now I'm thinking
I'm
about it.
just I'm just a boy, all right? But Timothy Chalamet, I
Yeah.
think when you share screen time with some of like the biggest actors in the world, it's like, okay, you should
Well,
have the
well,
wherewithal to like kind of know what you're saying.
uh, you would think, but I mean, that's never really proven to be the case. And I think the way, if you watch that conversation with, it was Timothy Chalamet and Matthew McConaughey, there's
Yeah.
just this level of like, I don't know if immaturity is the right word, but that's how it comes off.
Yeah, it does.
Like like and also as someone who has a podcast and does a podcast every week, I
Hmm.
got the vibes of just, you could tell when someone is just talking just for the sake of talking, you know? And
Yeah.
there's certain like times like where you can kind of steer a conversation and you're trying to manipulate it to move on or to change subjects, but you're still, how to use your words to get that. I kind of get a lot of that out of that interview.
Yeah.
And also when you don't really know what you're talking about, but you try to sound like you do,
Hmm.
and you try to talk around it. I got just so much of those vibes in that interview. And I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and there's been stories about Timothy Chalamet for years. Uh, Nothing atrociously bad, like I said, but just kind of like he's a dick and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I don't know him personally. I don't know anyone who's met him personally. It's always been like kind of like on the outside of the social circles and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
can't judge for sure. But as time goes on, the foot starts matching the boot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Interesting. What an interesting analogy that. Yeah.
I was struggling just like Timothy Chalamet in that interview. I'm like, say something that makes sense, man.
Wow.
The shoes on the other hand now.
That
Oh man.
was true.
Yeah, yeah. So crazy enough, as far as that's not the most important news going on right now, But as far as in
Sure.
the entertainment world, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, but yeah, other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah. I hope the Oscars were good. I hope Sinners won
Yeah,
everything,
I hope so
you
too.
know.
I'll
Yeah.
find out when next week. I don't really watch them anymore. I'll go watch highlights for like the musical numbers and stuff like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm
I
just
I mean, truly, it has been a couple of years since I've like fully watched the Oscars too, because it's
yeah, same.
like I like as somebody who loves and appreciates movies, I also feel like, well, I'm not watching all of the Oscar movies.
Sure.
In a year, I'm lucky if I see like two of the movies that are being nominated.
Hmm.
Because it's like, I don't know, like it's just like it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort. Movie tickets are expensive. Streaming platforms are expensive.
Yeah.
And then having to just like sit down to like make the time to do it. It is a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah.
I I listened to a couple of podcasts. I don't remember what they're called because I just like tap in every couple of months. But like the
Hmm.
Hollywood Reporter has one and Vanity Fair has one, and it's specifically like the award show podcast. And
Okay.
what I really find fascinating about it is because it's like I don't really care about awards like the Oscars and stuff, but
Hmm.
like listening to the award show and you kind of see the story of the journey of these movies. Oh, this one movie's coming out of this one festival and it's getting all this buzz. Ooh, that same movie won some kind of award. It's like it's really interesting to see kind of the circuit, and to see the different stories and oh, this one hot movie just came out X amount of months ago, only
Yeah.
was at one festival and now it's an Oscar contender. So it's really interesting to see how almost like the mechanics of Hollywood, like how it works,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm like, oh, that's really fascinating. It's cool. And it also really, those shows really kind of open me up to, because that's the only way I really learn about all the other like non-mainstream films in the Oscars. Because
Mm.
even
Hmm.
like right now, 2026, I haven't seen most of the Oscar films, but at least I know and I'm aware of like all these indie ones
Yeah.
or foreign films. And I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of know the story. Like, I would like to check that out because the filmmaker story is what intrigued me more than the movie itself, or
Hmm.
something like that. So, yeah, there's a few that I want to check out. Maybe I'll put it on the podcast list. We have I alone have like 25 movies on that list.
Dang.
So, yeah, we're gonna watch them all this year.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna need to do more than an episode
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah, I don't think that's statistically possible. We would need
Yeah,
to
I don't think
do, yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. We're only
Especially if
watching.
it's just your list.
Yeah, that's just my list, guys. 25. So, and it's growing.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
hmm
We'll be
yeah,
doing this until we're 90.
I know.
And
Well,
that's just
that's
films from this year
yeah,
and
dude.
previous.
That's the best part. Like, we're never gonna run out of movies,
Oh my gosh.
until the dragons take over, like in Reign of Fire, and there's no more
Ooh.
movies. So we have to
So
act
we'll
them out
have to
ourselves.
Yeah, we'll have to go back to early episodes of Lost where we were
Hmm.
just recapping the entire episode. We're gonna have to do that for the movies.
So I have some coworkers who just started the or I don't know if they started the podcast yet, but they just started Lost,
Yeah.
and they were asking, "Hey, what's your podcast?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm
I mean, I,
nervous."
I mean, I told one of them already.
Yeah,
So like, yeah. Well,
I'm
actually, no,
nervous.
they both know. Yeah. So
I'm nervous because like those early years of Lost Legacies was just us recapping Lost. Like
yeah,
there wasn't a lot of discussion. It was just like, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened, and blah 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 blah, and then
yeah.
this happened. And I'm like, oh,
And I thought it was cool when they did this, and it's yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we didn't know what we were doing. We were,
Hey man, that's the
boy,
beauty of podcasts. And because we're our own bosses, nobody can cancel us, so we had time to grow. It took us
That's
like a
true.
whole season or two,
That's
but we
true.
learned.
We should just tell our coworkers, hey, maybe just start listening around season three. I don't
Yeah,
know.
season three. I think
Yeah.
that's good, you know.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. We had
And
our
then you have
growing
to
pains,
stop,
but yeah.
watch 3 seasons of Dark, and then go back to Lost. Yeah.
Oh, but then you also have to stop and watch the 2 seasons of Arcane, and then
Oh
oh
yeah, yeah. You
yeah.
gotta do it in release
Wait,
order.
did we do those Arcane season 2? Was that during Lost? Okay. You
Oh
realize
yes.
there were like 3 years between those Arcane seasons?
Dude, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It was the animation, man.
But but what I'm saying is that there were 3 years between those 2 seasons, and we were still talking about Lost.
Yeah. Well, we also talk about Lost and Dark, but yes.
Well, okay, yeah, okay,
Oh,
that's
but
true.
here's the
That's
thing,
fair.
dude. Like, I don't I don't know if it was three. Was it 3 years for us on the podcast between Arcanes?
Yeah. Oh.
Because you didn't watch it until
Oh
like
no.
the
I
year
think
after it came out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we started together on the podcast Arcane. It had already been out for like a year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right. That's
yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah, yeah, man. It's so I was thinking about this before we jump into the movies.
Hmm.
I kind of feel like I haven't run into this problem yet, but I'm curious what's going to happen when we get to a movie that I don't really enjoy. Because
I was thinking about that today too.
like when we were watching a show, like everything we've watched, we're critical of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Luckily,
yeah.
these are shows that we enjoy. So even I think Andor had the most difficulty because as much as I love that show, the pacing was just so weird. And even
Hmm.
now, I think that was to the show's detriment,
Hmm.
especially season two, but that's a whole other thing. But so I don't really think I have a problem being critical of something, but at least that's something I enjoyed as a whole. Now there's certain episodes I did not like, and we scrapped that Andor episode because I was editing it. And I'm like, nah, man, this is too harsh.
Yeah, I
I
remember
let's
that.
skip it. So, but at least on the whole, I was like, I'm still enjoying this as a show.
Hmm.
But for a
Hmm.
movie, like I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe this is the opposite. Maybe I shouldn't feel like giving more leeway. But it's like with a show, you have years to tell your story.
Hmm.
Now a lot could go wrong. You could also stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Your characters can get boring and dull over that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, well, this movie, you only had 2 hours to tell your story, so okay, I could kind of see why they cut this or that or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's almost like I kind of give it more leeway, but at the same time, I don't know. So I'm kind of curious how that's gonna play out.
Yeah. Well, and like I remember uh God, I remember like the two other times that we tried to record our coherence episode. And uh like I just remember being like not liking the movie at first.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do remember being like very critical about it, back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm kind of glad that those episodes ended up not working out, because by the time we
Yeah.
watched it for like a third time, really clicking with it, being like, "Oh, I get it." Like, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, yeah, and then like fully liking it. So like that would have been interesting if that wasn't the case,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if I would have ever gone back to watch Coherence
Yeah.
like after we posted the original episode, and then
Mm-hmm.
with me
And you see
saying I
that
didn't like it.
that's something
So
too, because like I don't think we don't really have to go back and rewatch something that we loved, but something that
yeah,
like we didn't. Maybe I'd be willing to go back and give it another shot.
yeah,
I know for sure. Eventually, I would like to bring *Malignant* back because it's not that I didn't like it. It was very like I don't know what it was. Like I vibe with it. I dug it. It was just like I was thrown off course a little too much to
yeah,
really like appreciate it at the time.
yeah,
Because I remember
yeah.
after we did our episode, I watched it again like a week later and I liked it even more.
Well, and,
So,
and I remember watching it, to record the episode, and
mhm,
I'd seen it like twice before. So I was like, oh
mhm.
yeah, like just throw this on. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my God, what am I subjecting my brother to? Like this movie's insane. Like I don't think Matt's gonna like this at all. Oh God, and getting it in my head, they're like, oh, he's gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I really dug it too. So maybe I should put Malignant back on the list, just as a rewatch. But yeah, and then going back to Coherence, viewers, Coherence was a sci-fi movie we reviewed like 2 years ago, I think, one
Yeah,
or 2 years ago.
yeah,
So go check out that episode. But we had been trying to do this episode for years. Like
yeah.
we tried it when Sam had a different podcast with friends like a decade ago,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
and for every reason it didn't work out. And it's kind of good because they all hated it. And then when we went back to try to do it, something happened with the audio or something. I don't remember, but we couldn't use what we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So then what? It was like probably another year when we tried it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so we gave it another year and then finally we watched it, then we did our episode and I've it's still one of my favorite movies. I loved it and I think like Sam said it took him a couple tries and years
Mm-hmm.
to grow into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
For it to
yeah.
beat me into submission. So,
Yeah, go check it out. Coherence.
Yeah.
Um yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what movies are coming. Oh, we're gonna have a new movie next week, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out if we
So
hate it or not.
yeah. So lastly, before we get started, everyone, we got a book club coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
God, oh my God, we got 2 weeks exactly.
Oh, jeez.
I haven't even started. Uh,
At you. It's okay.
I
I'm only like two chapters in,
yeah,
so.
I gotta get a new membership to Libro FM. So
Oh.
everyone, we are reading Gideon the Ninth for our book club this month. So you have until roughly March 25th to
Mm-hmm.
get us any questions, comments, or concerns. So if you want to let us know what you thought about Gideon the Ninth, email us at lostlegaciespodcast@gmail.com and we'll feature you in the episode because that's kind of the whole point of the book club to get other people's opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, Sam and I will just be agreeing on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or disagreeing, because that's another thing. Like, I know we've both read Gideon, so it's like I'm sure like it's gonna be both of us being
mhm,
like, oh yeah, like this or that, like
mhm,
it'll be mostly positive. But I have been wondering that too. It's like
mhm.
happens when one of us brings a book that like the other person doesn't like.
Well,
You know?
I have a movie on my list.
Uh
I won't say that you don't like it,
oh. Uh
but I think there will be some debate between you and I on it.
oh. Uh
So
oh.
I'm looking
Okay.
forward to that. The
Hmm.
episode that ends Lost Legacies.
And now I'm just going into my head. I'm like, what movie is it? What movie could that be? I don't know.
So we'll see. And because of serendipity, uh, there was a bunch of like interviews with about that movie on my feed today on Instagram. I'm like, oh, something's in the air. Okay.
Uh oh.
So
Huh.
yeah.
All right. All right.
But before it passes my bedtime, um, let's talk about this episode.
Yeah, let's talk about this movie. We watched Molly and Max in the Future, a very low budget sci-fi rom-com from 2023 from writer director. I don't know how to say this guy's name, and I'm very sorry. I did not get to look up the pronunciation earlier, so I apologize. But Michael Luck Litwack.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah, we'll have his name in the description and stuff. But yeah, this was a super low budget movie. I found it just scrolling one day through one of the various like streaming platforms that I go on, and it just saw the little like clip that they had, and I was like, the heck is this movie? Like, this looks interesting. So I put it on a watch list and then didn't watch it for like 5 years. Yeah.
Amazing since it's only been out for three.
Or oh yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's the thing about me. Like my watch list is extensive and I'm never gonna finish it. I'm
Hmm.
never gonna watch everything that's on there, and I've come to
Hmm.
terms with that. But it's still growing, you know. And every platform that we have, I'm just like, ooh, I'll watch that. Ooh, I'll watch that. So yeah, I'm thankful that I took a chance on this one. I've seen it before, but Matt, what did you think about it as a first time watcher? Questions, comments, concerns.
I really enjoyed it. I so like first off,
Hmm.
it just looks gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
for being such a low budget film,
Hmm.
like so much time and effort went into like the special effects.
Hmm.
And you could tell most of this film is just two people in front of like a green screen.
Yeah.
Or you can tell like there's a little bit of a set, kind of like behind you, your wallpaper, and then like behind me, like there's a dinner table,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there's a little tiny set, but it's mostly green screen. And you can tell, but like with the vibe of the movie, it fits, man. It's a indie romance to begin with.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is kind of just the setting,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
yeah. So I was cool with it. I really like that. I want to say like the beginning. I love it's so fast paced. Okay, around chapter 2 or 3, when they get into flashbacks, that's when it started like to slow down a little bit. I was like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and also because this is Tubi, there's a buttload of commercials. I feel like it
Yeah.
was every 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah. Probably.
So,
And
and
I
the
and
movie's
I
only
hate
an
it.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
So,
And I
yeah.
hate it too because like they'll put like a commercial like 2 minutes before the movie ends
Hmm.
and then like show the last 2 minutes with the credits. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, like yeah, yeah. So yeah, and it really like cut into a lot of like some dramatic moments. Feel like a couple of jokes were like cut like kind of in half, at least like transitional wise.
Hmm.
So yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, like we said, well, I think we said this off pod, but it's like we're probably gonna have to deal with a lot of ads this year. Just because
Yeah.
every platform is so expensive, and
Hmm.
sorry, I'm not paying $50, for
Hmm.
one streaming service to give me no ads. So
Oh, interesting. I'm looking
yeah.
up the actor, Aristotle Atari.
Mm-hmm.
What a name. He's in Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if he plays a robot
I don't know. I haven't seen the sequel, so
because he was on one season of Saturday Night Live. And
okay.
I think there was a sketch where he plays like a robot.
Oh, okay.
Cause I don't know if it was SNL or what, but like I've seen him play a robot before. It might have been his stand-up.
Mm.
Um, but just he has such a cool robot voice. I'm pretty sure all the little robot voices like in the ship and stuff, Black Hole,
Mm-hmm.
Pullback, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So yeah. But also he plays Angelo, the music prodigy in SNL.
Oh.
That's all I said. I'll try. I was gonna try and do the jokes, but I'm like, it wouldn't work. You have to see it. You got to be there to believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a bummer because he was only on for one season, and then he took off. Because it's such very kind of like this movie, just very like subtle, kind of quiet humor, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really bummed to see him leave SNL, but and that was I want to say 2021.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say it was post pandemic, like right after.
Mm-hmm.
So then they probably went into production like a year after he left, or that following
Yeah.
year, you know.
Yeah,
So
probably.
so this is really cool to see him in this and very small filmography. So he's mostly does stand up. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope to see more of this guy. However, Molly Zosiah, I think is her name.
Okay. Yeah.
Zosiah Mamet, I believe.
Hmm.
She's been in a lot of stuff. I know she kind of got her big break on Girls, but if I remember correctly, and because I never watched Girls, but I remember
Hmm.
her. Uh, but yeah, so um, I love it. I dug it. I dug the. It's a love story, but it's actually reminds me of When Harry Met Sally a lot because
Yeah.
it's like the whole will they won't they best friends kind of love story, you
Yeah.
know? And so like for the audience, it's a love story, but for them, like they don't realize it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Which Michael did say that was kind of like the starting off point. Where he's saying like he wanted to update a classic. And so
oh,
decided because I think I saw this in another interview where he was saying like, yeah, like he watched a lot of, obviously like watched a lot of classics as a kid growing
mhm,
up, so it was like Star Wars, but then also When Harry Met Sally.
mhm, mhm.
The one thing I'll disagree with him is that he says that it is a masterpiece, but it's a little out of date.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, Michael, I don't know, but I think love
Hmm.
transcends time and space,
I'd have to
so.
go watch it. But there is a very
Like it is like it's period in the sense that like well it's contemporary because it was made in the 80s and it takes place in the
sure.
80s.
No, but
So like
I'm
some
saying
stuff
like
might be outdated, but
there's more this movie relates more to When Harry Met Sally, like just the overall vibes and
yeah.
like even like Billy Crystal is like very like reserved in that movie. You know,
Yeah.
he's just playing a normal dude. He's not purposely playing like a funny guy.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's kind of what we get here too. It's not like a laugh out loud comedy, although there were some moments where I was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
I was lolling at like at 1:32 in the morning. I was like lol 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 lol. Um but yeah, so yeah, I think I could definitely see like the influences here for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I don't even know what to talk about with this movie. I'm just like, it's also probably one of the most relevant films in recent history. Like,
Yeah. So
I
apparently
think,
they finished production in August 2022.
okay,
Yeah. So, like talk about timely, especially with
yeah,
like the latter half, like dealing with a
yeah,
plague and, Turbo Schmuck getting elected ruler of the galaxy,
yeah.
it's like, okay, like, yeah. But I feel like this handles it in an interesting way where it's like, so some of the humor leans more into like a I want to say Futurama, but it probably feels a little bit more like Rick and Morty humor,
Yeah.
and like the Turbo Schmuck stuff was like did kind of feel like that for me.
I feel like that and the
Um,
cult, and I was just like, okay, this is a
yeah,
little. I feel like that was like the weakest part of the movie
yeah,
because all the relationship stuff was great, but I think where this movie really stands out is everyone's reactions to the Turbo Schmuck and the
yeah.
impending end of the world because that's very much how a lot of people felt during COVID. You know, that's
Hmm.
how a lot of people feel right now. You know, like guess what? We're just started a new war. You know, and
Hmm.
things are getting really bad really fast, and so it's very timely to watch this movie and hear them talking about that stuff and the way it's just very matter of fact. You know, just like this is life now. You know, but we have to go on, and
Hmm.
it's so weird to think about. You know,
Yeah,
and that's one of the wildest things about the times right now. Someone was posting like online somewhere. It was like it's wild to see how it feels like the end of the world is coming any day, but people are still going out. People are still falling in love. You know, the day to day life hasn't stopped. It's still going, and that
yeah,
feels like so weird. You know, that's
yeah.
not the way it happens in the movies.
Hmm.
You know, it's like in the movies, that's the most important thing. It's like, no, now in reality, everyone's trying to find a way forward. you know?
Yeah.
And this movie was made 4 years before now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very timely. It was in reaction to the last couple years before they made it, and it's predicting the years that came after it premiered. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. So, but I thought it was a very I don't know how old these actors are. Maybe 30s, maybe 40s at this point.
Yeah.
But
Could be.
but I felt like this is a very kind of millennial story because we're the ones who we're supposed to be out, you know, like millennials and Gen Z. We were supposed to be out buying houses, starting families, getting these big careers when everything just started falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and it doesn't matter how bad it gets, we still have to keep doing it. We still have to keep moving forward somehow. So the way they were talking about it, and I think the character of Molly definitely was the standout because she has those kind of monologues
Mm-hmm.
about that specifically, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I think the way they tie in her mental health and her inability to control her magic, like the way they just tied that in so well with also the darkness that is in her world. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, this is really well written. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm also kind of curious how much of this was improv because there was a lot of humor when I was like, you can't script that. Like
Yeah.
like someone just said that, right? So I
Yeah.
wonder like how much the cast had over the actual lines of dialogue.
Yeah, yeah, I'm curious about that too, especially like when you look at the bloopers, or not the
Yeah,
bloopers, but like the footage at the end,
yeah,
yeah, like you had some moments like where one of the people on the cybernet or whatever, like they're saying like
yeah,
they're just kind of like going at it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's improv. They're improvising. That's what I meant to say.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like it definitely feels like there's a lot of that. It's like obviously like the story is there and probably like hit these notes, say these lines, but yeah, like a lot of this does feel like we're riffing, like we're finding. I think
Hmm.
there was probably a lot of leeway in what each actor is bringing to Molly and Max.
Hmm.
It's like I like the director's like I have this vision for Molly, but like what do you think about that? Like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
and then just a lot of collaboration. It feels like, especially like with like we talked about, this movie looks gorgeous, and it's not just like these screenshots or whatever. Like there's whole like stop motion animated mecha fights. You
That was
know,
so cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
weird stuff like Mobius, as the giant head,
Hmm.
with the tentacles and
Hmm.
stuff. It's like that doesn't look that bad, Like this kind of feels like you know what it feels like? It feels like the Christopher Eccleston Doctor Who, like
Mm.
2005 graphics,
Yeah,
but for like a 2 hour movie.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, which isn't bad. I don't think it's bad at all. But you
yeah.
can definitely tell that like this is a labor of love and this is a big
Hmm.
collaboration with people.
Yeah.
Um yeah. And yeah, I think to that end, like what really stands out to me is what you said is like how honest you know these characters can be. And i think
Hmm.
that's i think that's the beauty of the genre, that even regular rom-coms aren't necessarily permitted, because
Hmm.
they're like regular rom-coms exist in like a heightened reality, but like it's still reality, it's still the real world.
Hmm.
There's space witches and black holes and different worlds
Hmm.
and all this stuff, but like these two characters still have those same problems, but you can say it outright, and
Hmm.
I think that's the beauty of genre fiction and science fiction specifically, is that like you can be honest and you can critique and you can say what you really want to say, you know, and not have it kind of just scoffed at, or say that like, oh, they're just being preachy, or oh, they're being
Right.
like naive or whatever. It's just like, no, like I think there is in a weird way, by wearing this mask of, like wearing this filter of sci-fi, like you can be more genuine.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I also science fiction is very interesting because I don't know what it is about it, but it almost seems like it's easier, maybe not easier is the word, but it seems easier or it just fits better to include like I don't know, like what am I trying to say, like the topics of today, like
Mhm.
we'll watch Battlestar Galactica reboot and you're like, man, that was very much a mid 2000s show because
Yeah.
that was all about what was going on in the 2000s. You
Hmm.
watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine, very much about what was going on in the world in the 90s, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
um, that was America and the Middle East, and then, with 9/11 inspiring Battlestar,
Hmm.
it's almost easier to do because like you're making up the whole world, like all the lore building. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you could do that with fantasy. Um, I feel like Game of Thrones I'm sorry, A Song of Ice and Fire is a good example of, Martin taking these real life events and in history and using that to inspire his saga.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's the thing too. Like fantasy tends to lend itself more to like old history,
Right.
ancient history, or like, a little bit more modern history,
Hmm.
but yeah, like events that have happened. But using that as an example of like, well, we didn't learn our lesson, so this is why it's happening again, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And then kind of to that point, where it's like sci-fi can kind of do that as well, you know, but also it really is able to like put the mirror up to the modern world and say like, hey, like this is what you sound like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you sound like this, and people for some reason connect more with it when we're talking about robotic oppression, or like AI,
Hmm.
within being a big monster, for the
Hmm.
future. People are more apt to do that when the future's already there, where it's destroyed
Yeah.
and everything. But when it's the now, it's like,
Maybe it has to
yeah,
do with the tech. Like, I don't know, because Game of Thrones and fantasy, even though it's filled with magic, it still feels like a different past. This is an
hmm,
alternate past. No one watches Lord of the Rings, be like, man, in another world, that could have been us. You know, like
yeah,
whereas
maybe,
sci-fi, I think because of the technology and because the future hasn't been written yet, that's where
hmm,
we can put all of our ideas of the future, good and bad.
yeah,
That's going to happen in Star Trek. That's going
yeah,
to happen in Star Wars or Maximali in the future. It's kind of difficult to do that in a fantasy. But I mean, I would love to see someone try.
yeah.
I want to see a rom com set in Westeros. you know,
I don't want to
uh,
see a rom com in Westeros. They're gonna die.
I don't
It's
know,
gonna be
man.
barbecue
I don't know.
by
I think I'm gonna go
midway.
check out a Night of the Seven Kingdoms because
I
I'm
knew
really
it.
liking everything I'm seeing.
I knew
Uh,
it.
that's this, despite the point though. But like, so for example, let's take this movie, Molly and
Hmm.
Max. Uh, the scene behind me where they're having the flashbacks.
Yeah,
They're having dinner, but they put on like the helmets that helps them see into like the past.
yeah.
I'm like, that's so wild. So they're seeing the flashbacks with us, but really that whole scene is just catching us up on the characters, seeing
Hmm.
what they're doing. So it's like you could do that in a fantasy. You just
Yeah.
tweak it or something. They have crystal balls and they're seeing into the past. You see how Molly joined a cult, a sex cult. How cliche.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that. Are we in a cult? Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
totally.
I love that actor too, dude. Like he shows up in everything. Um, oh man, that was funny, dude. Some of the sets too, because I'm just thinking of like that giant tentacle. She's like
Yeah.
kissing him, like, oh my god, dude.
It's like, and you know what? It's like I saw this movie last year,
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about it at least once a week since I saw it. And I wanted to bring it to the podcast so bad last year. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I gotta do it. But it was like, I can't justify this as a Christmas movie. Like, no, like you can't do
Right.
that. But yeah, like I wanted to show it to you because like this feels. I don't know that this is like us. Like I don't know if this is my style. Like
Hmm.
I become a filmmaker. My dreams come true. I'm a filmmaker.
Hmm.
I don't know that this is my style of movie that I would make
Hmm.
or attempt to make, but like the heart is here. The passion is here.
Yeah.
Every single little bit of it is on screen. And I'm so glad that they put the what little BTS footage there was at the end
Hmm.
credits. Cause like
Hmm.
you see that it's like, oh yeah, we built little miniatures of the subway, or
Hmm.
there's the little mechs, coming together. Yeah, we had to have you know our talent in front of a green screen, and she's got to make out with a tentacle. It's
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that's just gotta like if you go into it with the right mindset, and if you're with the right people, if you're collaborating with the right people, then every day you get to go on set and do something fun. Like, hey, what are we doing today? Oh, today's great. You're making out with the tentacle for like 2 hours. Like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's like we
Dude,
gotta get all that footage.
yeah, and like it was when the movie ended, I wanted to go make a movie. I'm like, dude, this has
Yeah.
such the indie spirit in it. And it's I guess also watching the behind the scenes through the credits, which I wish there was more behind the scenes anywhere because I couldn't find anything on this movie.
Yeah, there is
But
a Blu-ray, but I don't know how readily like accessible it
yeah,
is.
but
Yeah.
I just really wanted to make a movie after watching this. I was in the shower thinking of ideas like, oh, dude, I should write this, I should write that. I was like,
Hmm.
oh man, yeah, dude. It just, I kind of miss that just going out making a movie. Of
Truly,
course,
man.
it's always harder, or, easier said than done. But still,
Hmm.
just I just miss being on movie sets, and whether if it's in front of the camera or behind or whatever, just that process and working with just cool people you enjoy spending your time with.
Yeah.
I really miss that. And also I was thinking about what was the movie with the maze? The one where the guy builds the maze in his house out of
Oh, Dave
cardboard.
made a maze.
Dave made a maze. I kind of got that vibes too. I'm like, dude, that was
Yeah.
just people got some money and they made the most of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel like with this, just kind of visually looking at it, and then also looking at the trailers. You could easily say because I didn't see the trailer till after the movie and
Mm.
wasn't that great,
Yeah.
but I could easily see a world where the person doing all the special effects, that was the focus
Mm.
because it is so unique, so original. And sure it's cheesy, but it fits the vibe. It never pokes fun at itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if this was some visual effects guy who's like, yeah, I want to make a movie, I could easily see where it's just it's all style. It's all style over substance.
Hmm.
But no, the acting and the writing was just as good. All the things you want from the movie, it fit. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, cool. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what that behind the scenes process was because it's the director and the writer, same dude.
Hmm.
You have to know the style and vibe you're getting into
Hmm.
before you hire your effects person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so what came first? Was it the story or the effects? Were they like, hey, this is what we could do. Let's make something with that?
Yeah. I'm curious too. So I do know that he went to film school, the writer director, Michael.
Mhm.
And I saw one of his shorts after watching the movie, and it's called "The
Mhm.
Life and Death of Tommy Chaos and Stacy Danger."
Ooh, I like it.
and it's like it's a 50. Oh, I gotta send it to you because like it starts and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like I think I know what I'm in for because I just watched this movie. My mind's freaking blown because
Hmm.
like the same quality effects are there,
Hmm.
in this like little 15-minute short, but it is just like it's this love story, of Tommy and
Mm.
Stacy. And it transcends worlds, they're trying to live, they're trying to make it out there, Dan Romer does the score, and the
Oh
second I heard this,
yeah.
a second I heard like the strings or whatever, I'm like, is this Dan Romer? And I looked, I
Hmm.
was like, yep, it is. And Dan Romer's just always gonna get me,
Yeah.
anytime you hear his stuff. But yeah, like so I think on that, because he was like a film student, so it's like I think that was one of his projects.
Interesting.
So it's like, okay, so like he does have like an eye for visual effects, like, and he's able to do like the visual effects, if not mostly by himself, then he's got like a committed team. But that movie kind of felt like the launching pad for this, where it's like they're
Mm.
not dealing with the same characters or the same kind of love,
Hmm.
but it's like, because the short definitely feels like, oh, this is young love, like we're gonna
Yeah.
be together forever, and it's that feeling when you get
Yeah.
in that first powerful relationship where you're like, we're in this forever to the stars, baby.
Hmm.
Whereas this feels a little bit more, this is very subdued, and this is very like, we're two people who like don't have the self-confidence, and who don't know what we actually want, but we don't
Yeah.
want you to not be there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like, I wonder if that's kind of what like launched this, to have them be
Mm.
like, hey, like, we did that. I think we could do it. I could think we could do it more refined. I think we could make this into a feature.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. It's the same way with Prospect, the way they did the short film
oh
first,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then that kind of pitched the feature film.
yeah.
Um, yeah, man. I don't know. I really dug this. I love the ending when they make it to the garbage realm, and like
Mm-hmm.
all the
Mm-hmm.
props that they threw out throughout the film came back, and I was like, dude, hell yeah! Like that's so cool,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Um, at the end, they finally get together. They got to fight their way out of the garbage realm, and that's the way it ends. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I wanted more, but at the same time, it's kind of poetic and perfect, because you don't know what happens. You don't know if they make it out. Just the same way you don't know if this relationship's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I love how like they use what was it? The poo box,
Yeah,
the
the poo
PU box
box.
to like get themselves together in another universe
Mm-hmm.
to see if it works. And the whole time I'm screaming at them. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Just
Mm-hmm.
do it yourself. Figure it
Mm-hmm.
out. It's like, oh man. But then like I think probably the best part of the movie was in the plague. They're like, the plague's not gonna happen, right?
It's
Duh,
the
there's a
plague.
plague. Dude. And then they're wearing the gas mask and stuff. But
Yeah.
then it's such like a funny setup. But then that whole scene, oh my god, that's like where everything just goes crazy because they finally start talking about it out loud. And I like how there was, you know, the whole time it's kind of hinted at, but that they love each other, but they don't really know it or they're not admitting it, and it's never going to be said. And then so
Mm-hmm.
when it finally is, it wasn't like a gentle like, oh, we're easing into it. It's like, no, now now
Yeah.
is this is the time, and it's through this whole like it's essentially a breakup even though they're not together, they're just friends. There's like this
Yeah.
whole breakup scene and an argument surrounded by the plague. All the lighting is red, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, this is so good. And like,
Even like their camera setups and the way they're like moving and stuff, because
yeah.
like you like it's interesting because it's like you never forget that they're in front of a green screen, but then like they start moving around and like the blocking of it, I'm like, oh, in my mind, I'm like, you had to make separate composite shots for like this background, what
Yeah.
the room looks like from that angle, from this angle. I'm like, oh wow, that's great. And like, and staging your actors like that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's
Mm-hmm.
like there is a like on a writing level, on an acting level, fantastic. On a filming level, you're like, this is great. Like
Yeah.
this potentially has better blocking than some multi-million dollar, blockbusters out there,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing that gets to me too, whereas like I watched this movie and I came away completely satisfied, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's everything that like, you know, and this isn't me, wanting to like jump out here and say that like, oh, Hollywood's trash and it's going downhill and stuff, but like there is there is a deficit when it comes to creativity within the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're getting a lot more of now is unfortunately movies by committee, where you
Yeah.
have these big, expensive blockbusters that have to be released at this day. They have to hit this market. They have to make this much money, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start to like add that stuff into your film. And now more people are catching on to it to where it's like, you can tell, oh, this movie came out in the post Marvel era because
Mm-hmm.
they're taking all of the lessons, away
Sure.
from Marvel. It's like they're putting
Mm-hmm.
jokes or they're doing whatever, they're doing this. And it's like even Marvel is kind of like trying to do what they used to do to try and like recapture the magic, but like it's working,
Yeah.
not working, whatever. It's like, so when something like this comes along, it's like it's not a game changer. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's coming and doing exactly what it wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're either on board with it or you're not. And it's that thing. It's part of that same passion, that same drive where it's like you can tell these people are putting their all into this movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can, you know, I know people who would look down on that, or I know people, who would like,
Mm-hmm.
see it as, like, oh yeah, it's an indie movie, so I'm just gonna do whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, no, like this is the gig, this is the project, and I feel like this is kind of the direction that film, like indie films especially, are going to start going to more, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're putting it all on the line here because we're either going to keep doing this or eventually we have to start listening to the
Right.
finance bros about what's going to make the movies marketable you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Yeah, it's about just putting the people with the passion, in charge, and finding a story that has that heart with it,
yeah,
because like the whole as cool as this movie looks, it's the heart behind it. Like that whole
yeah.
scene again, Zosia, I think it's Zosiah Mamet just completely owned it, man. Like that scene where like she finally lets it out and she's just like crying, and it's just like, yes, it's such like it was a breath of relief and release,
Hmm.
when she starts like opening up and yeah, man. And you're fighting against them because you want them to get together. Like, guys, just talk, just come on, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that scene was just beautiful, and so yeah, the fact that you need that heart and passion through all the different facets of the movie, and it really shows with this one.
Yeah,
So yeah, um, but yeah, man. Yeah, I really wish there was like behind the scenes because I want to know like how they made it. I want to know everything, behind like the acting and the casting, like because every single character was good, and I love like all the little co-stars. I love the love goddess was perfect.
yeah, yeah.
I love all of that, man.
Even like, even the characters that show up for like a scene or two, like when they're doing the dating profiles
Oh
and then they're
yeah,
on the dates,
yeah.
I'm like, you still had to get somebody in to play, Leonidas. You
Oh
know, you
yeah,
still
yeah,
had to
yeah.
get somebody in to wear the dumb
I
suit and
love their
headband,
names.
make the profile. You know, I'm like,
And then
yeah, dude, like this is.
even Marie with a 1 and a 3.
Oh yeah,
Like she was great, dude. Like I was kind of bummed that she's only in like that one part of the movie. I was like,
yeah,
damn.
yeah. I was kind of hoping she'd come back later, or something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you
But
know.
yeah, and so like the whole opening of the movie where Max wears the wig, I didn't realize that was him at first. I'm like, that's Aristotle Atari? Like, oh crap. Oh man. And I
Yeah.
love how he has to go work with his dad at the Rock. What at the
Well, he
Rock?
called like he says it at first. Is like, yeah, my dad wants me to go work with him at the rock factory,
Oh, the Rock
and then
Factory.
and then after Molly leaves, we get the flashback. His dad comes in, son, it's time you join me at the rock and roll factory.
Making rock and roll stock music for the corporations.
Corporations,
I was
you'll be
like,
back.
there were so many little jokes like that. I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. Like
Yeah.
so many little subversions of like, oh, dude, that's rad. I love the actress who plays Rachel. Uh, she's a comic. She's a stand-up. Like, so I think that most of these people are comedians. But like that woman has made a career of just playing herself in
Oh yeah, yeah.
everything. And like yeah, dude, I loved her in this. She's awesome.
I do not have eczema. I had it when I was a teenager, but I don't have it anymore.
Oh man. Like very that whole segment was very uh uh crap, what's that movie? With
What?
Luke Wilson?
Idiocracy?
Idiocracy, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very much so. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, it was good. Solid flick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you like that. I'm glad I finally got to, talk to
Yeah.
you about it.
And this is just another example of we're gonna watch some weird sci-fi, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like there's a lot of weird sci-fi on my list.
Hmm.
Um
Mine too. Like I was kind of wondering about that because I remember talking to you off pod of like,
mhm,
do you want to bring like the weirder stuff and then I bring like the more like commercial stuff, and that was
mm,
mostly around like Halloween time, because
mhm,
I didn't know like how interested is our audience and you in
mhm.
watching like a British horror movie about a killer elevator.
Ooh.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like it might not go over well, but
Well, but I mean, I think that's also again going back to the whole thing of Lost Legacies, talking about stuff that is either underrated or just misunderstood. You
yeah.
know, uh,
And that's the thing too. It's like it's kind of hard to define what Lost is right now. It's like for the most part, a lot of stuff isn't technically lost media. It's just not streaming anywhere, or it's locked
yeah,
behind a
that's true.
paywall,
Because
you
everything's
know?
niche. So
Yeah,
someone's somewhere is going to like this.
yeah.
Uh, uh, and like so, out of the 25 movies I have on my list, and the list is growing, a lot of weird sci-fi, but there's also some mainstream stuff in there.
Hmm.
Uh, non-sci-fi stuff on there, just things that, just yeah, it's
I
just a mix.
I almost also want to do like throw in some random ones that I'm pretty sure you and I haven't seen before, but
Mm-hmm.
like I'm kind of interested in like looking at box office flops.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Cause like tangentially related, like I don't know if I'll ever bring it to the podcast, but I saw John Carter like last
Oh yeah,
week.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like solid, it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I can definitely see why it didn't do well. But like on the
Right.
whole, I'm just kind of here. I'm like, it's amazing that this
Ooh.
exists. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of baffled that it exists and
Mm-hmm.
that it is as like good and coherent as it is because in another world it probably isn't.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like there are a lot of movies that I'm kind of interested in, like at least watching, just because
Yeah.
like I know I've never seen them.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, and just kind of like evaluate them and be just like, I wonder, you know, like,
Mhm.
give it the once over and say like, I think we misstepped and we should have gone more in that direction. Or conversely, we come out the other side being like, no, audiences were right. That was a bad movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, who knows? We'll just. I think that's kind of the fun thing about this year, just watching whatever we want.
Yeah.
Um, because the majority of stuff on my list I have not watched,
Mm,
and I don't watch movies that
mm.
often. So like anything I want to watch, I'm pretty much putting it on the list. So yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of which,
Hmm.
we need to figure out what we're going to watch next week.
Yeah, we do.
Do you have a 20-sided die on you?
Uh, no, but I can pull one up. I can use my phone. I can pull.
All right. Warm it up, I guess. I don't know how that works on the apps.
All right, let's do it. We're gonna go with 16.
Is
Uh-oh.
it that? Is it?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was the one that you kept getting last time.
that was. How we keep hitting 16? Because 16 is the random choice.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Okay, everyone. We're back. It took forever, but we're back. I was not prepared for us to roll 16 again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we ended up picking random. So we just randomized all our streaming services and all the different categories. And the movie we're watching next week is Sam.
Challengers.
I have wanted to see that. I have never seen it. So,
Okay.
okay. All
Okay.
right. We're
Yeah.
watching Challengers streaming on Hulu, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. Interesting. A different kind of love story.
Yeah.
Non sci fi,
Not
maybe?
genre,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Hmm. Cool. Cool. Well, any last words about this episode of this movie before we wrap it up?
This movie or this episode was wild all over the place, just like this movie it was wild and all over the place. But
Hmm.
I had fun. I had fun with
Yeah.
both. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think more people need to. We need to make movies like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we just need to um make stuff that you're passionate about, but also sci-fi is so difficult to do. Uh One, because it has to it does and doesn't have to do with the script. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
there's different types of sci-fi, but also it's difficult to make, So like
It can be, yeah.
clearly they had someone who knew what they were doing with the effects, the visual effects in this movie and the
Hmm.
props because they really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I could only imagine that's where the majority of their budget went. I don't know for
Hmm.
sure. But yeah, like you could still even without all of that, it was a solid love story, and the relationships and the characters themselves, you could have just put them in 2025 New York City,
Hmm.
and we still would have loved it just because we enjoyed the performances and the writing, and those characters. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I guess I wanted to ask you earlier because I feel like we could go on a whole other tangent on this, but like,
Okay.
but we were talking about how the director wanted to like remake a classic.
Hmm.
What else could like what other rom-com could we remake in a different genre or change the
Oh.
setting, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh no, they already did Romeo and Juliet. Can't do that again.
You could do like a sci-fi Princess Bride, but
Oh, that would be fun. I mean, straight up, just it's like a Star Wars, dealing with like high fantasy but in space, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That could be fun. That could be fun.
But like I want it to be like OG Star Wars. Like,
Oh, for
I
sure.
want
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
actually be model ships, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um,
Model
yeah.
ships and like a real droid, like
Yeah.
a guy we put in a trash can on wheels, Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. No, I can see that.
Let's see. We could
Hmm.
redo. We're gonna do While You Were Sleeping as a fantasy.
Ooh, that could be fun. That could be
Yeah.
fun.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Casablanca, that's not really a rom-com, but
Sure.
you know, this is a
Ooh, that's
classic.
actually, yeah, that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Casablanca in Westeros.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting. Or sci-fi as well.
Hmm.
Casablanca and Star Wars.
At
Oh.
a spaceport that's being locked down by the Imperials. There's no
Mm-hmm.
Jedi, it's all
Mm-hmm.
straight up. That's like Andor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is our sequel series.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just making it like into like we're
Yeah.
putting the love story front and center, and then yeah, and then Rick,
Instead of
couple of Imperials there.
Rick's, it's Rico's.
Oh, it's Dexter. From Attack of the Clones. The
Oh, is he the
Yeah.
main guy?
Yeah, he is.
I
This is
love
perfect.
that.
This is great. I love it. I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Wow.
put more actors in like weird suits and put a bunch of bullshit on their face.
I
You
will
know?
say one thing we didn't mention about this movie was the music. I really
Mm,
dug it. Very noir, very jazzy,
very jazzy, yeah.
and even like I really dug it even more than like Blade Runner. Something that's very
Whoa.
cyberpunk, very
Yeah.
noir. But this, even though this was not noir, like vibe wise, the music fit. I was
Hmm.
like, wow, I'm like that's really cool. Kind of lots of like just slow moaning saxophones, and I'm
And
like,
it adds
yeah,
to the like the offbeat aesthetic, because it's like that's not something
sure,
that you would expect from, you know, I think even most rom-coms you wouldn't expect that, but also just like science
right,
fiction in general, like you're not thinking of
yeah,
like saxophones, and very like melodic, kind of score. So yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
dug it.
Yeah, and like I don't know if I sent it to you, but I just saw this video about this girl did a short on YouTube, kind of about Coruscant and like in Star Wars, in case you don't know,
Oh, right,
Coruscant
right.
and like the different levels of Coruscant.
Oh,
I was
that's
like, oh,
right.
this is really interesting.
Yeah,
I would love to see a whole series just set on Coruscant,
I would too.
like the damn Star Wars game that got canceled. That
Hmm.
was all supposed to be set on Coruscant.
Was it 1313 or something like that?
I don't remember, but what we could have
Yeah.
had, what we could have
Yeah.
had. So yeah,
Well,
but
we'll get on the poo box with our alternate selves, and
oh, there you
we'll
go.
talk to them about it. Be like, hey, what's this
Yeah,
Star Wars game like? Be like, oh, it's rad. It's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's it for this week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think about challengers. Send us your emails at lostlegaciespodcast at
Hmm.
gmail.com.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. Hashtag Lost Legacies, where all the social medias can be found. We'll see it. So
Hmm.
until next week, get lost.
Get lost.